Welcome to the Brent Hazzard Show. It is the show with the echo. I am Brent Hazzard. Thank you for getting a little greatness in your afternoon today. We're having some fun for our producer, but I'm proud to announce that our co-host today is Malcolm Johnson. Malcolm, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Brett. How are you?
I'm miserable as usual, but that's been a 49-year run, so, you know, I get used to it.
Well, I tell you one thing, 40. If you're 49, you look good to be 49.
I appreciate
brother.
that, man. You remember, you know how it's funny, as we age, you know, the best you can hope for is a few years off. You know,
That's right.
It used to be, did you work, man, you know, as you get older, did you get workout or anything that? No, none of that eats. And then you just have to starve yourself. But you're holding up well, sir.
Well, I'm doing the best I can, but got a lot of work to do. I got to try to get some of this weight off of me.
As we get older, that's the only thing that matters.
That's right. Just left eating.
There's no. Oh, Lord. Now, let me go ahead and say
How you doing, Mr. Garrett?
This. Do we need to take a break since you're here?
Oh, I didn't know. You going live?
I mean, we're live now, Socrates, but I mean,
the door open.
Socrates, since you stuck your nose in here, do you want to go ahead and join us? I mean, once again, I don't have to. The invitation's there, Miss Garrett. You're the one who makes me drive across town at 5 o'clock. So, I mean, are you scared or not? If you're scared by a dog.
Can you set up a mic?
While we're setting up the mic for Socrates, Malcolm, for those who do not know us, hang on a second. Why don't you turn the mic on Malcolm so he can give an introduction? I'd like to know your background and let everybody know who does not know you. Where do you call home, Malcolm?
First of all, my name is Malcolm Johnson. Born, raised, reared right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Attended Clinton Public Schools for my high school education years. After I left high school, I decided to go to Milwaukee. I wanted to go to Marquette University, got enrolled, and then some kind of way I ended up in seminary.
Okay, stop. Let me stop you there. There's a couple. What year in Clinton?
97.
Okay. Predominantly, what was the makeup back then?
When I was in second grade, Clinton was 70 white, 30% black.
Okay.
When I got to junior high, it was probably 55 white, 45% black.
Okay.
By the time we got to high school, it was probably 60 black and 40 white.
Okay.
Percent white.
Tell me how that demographic changing. Did you notice it? Was it a big deal? Was it no big deal? Was it just?
I was very noticeable. The reason it was noticed because when you go in the cafeteria, you're seeing more African Americans in the cafeteria when we got past junior high.
Okay.
And what happened was most of the white children that would go to Clinton Elementary, 6th grade, when they get to junior high, they would leave and either go to Mount Sailors. We didn't have Clinton Christian Academy at the time, but they would end up at private school.
Well, I mean, it seems for me, and I went to private school, it seems to me when you have a strong public school presence like a Clinton, a Tupelo, Oxford, the academies just don't really exist. Is that one that's not one? Is there one out in Clinton now?
There's 3 in Clinton now. Clinton have 3 private schools now. Clinton Christian Academy, which is doing good in sports. The Mount Sailors program are going. And then there's another smaller preparatory school out in there. But I'm going to say this. Clinton have a great board.
You're talking about the school board?
The school board.
Okay.
The leadership is 10 to 1 being almost perfect.
Do you? I don't know any, not having children. Who are some of the people, or do you know any of them off the top of your head?
Oh, I know several from the past. And one of the school board members now is Supervisor Vern Gavin's wife,
Okay.
Dr. Gavin. Hinds County Justice Court Judge Kenny Lewis served on the Clinton School Board and pretty much ran it and kind of was a lot of responsible for that land that Continental Tires was on, because the land was owned by Clinton Public Schools and it was leased to, well, it was a deal where some was sold and some were at least swapped out. In some kind of way, Clinton Schools got the land and leased it where Continental Tires can build.
Okay.
And Kenny Lewis was on the board then. It kind of mostly made that happen for Continental Tires to be built. Now he's in politics now. Yeah, Justice Court Judge now.
I've never been in front of him. I hear good things. I
Good
hear
guy.
he's doing a great.
Yeah, I remember when he was a Clinton police. I remember he was a detective. I remember he worked at the DA office up under Faye Pete. I've been knowing him most of his whole life, so I never heard nothing bad about it. Judge Lewis.
He's impressed some of my friends who are still on the court staff. They say he's very professional, very prepared.
Oh yeah, spiritual guy and open-minded. He open-minded too now. He not just so stuck on Jesus till he understand that we don't have to drink water in Jackson. So he's a good guy.
Now, you said Marquette. How did you end up in Milwaukee?
Family members. My mom had 7 brothers and 5 lived in Milwaukee. 5 of them worked at Harley Davidson. And as a kid, when they come to Mississippi, I thought I had rich uncles. and went to Milwaukee when I was about 13 and said, "Damn, they poor." and I didn't understand that when they come to Mississippi, they go and get their cars out, what they call the garage up north.
Yeah.
And come to Mississippi and show off and go back north and got back on the bus. So I didn't understand that.
Now, how long did you live in Milwaukee?
I lived there 5 years.
Now, first cold winter that hit you. How did you?
Man,
survive?
when I first got out the riders was in Milwaukee. I didn't have no antifreeze in my car. What's the kind of sock you need in the wintertime?
No, I'm not sure. It's a green kind.
No, up north you had to have antifreeze. It's 2 kind of brands, but if you don't have it in your car, it'll freeze.
What the lowest temperature you lived through up there?
-25.
Oh, hell no.
Yes.
Hell no.
And we live 3 blocks over from Lake Michigan on 3rd and Titonia.
And for those who do not know, because I've been up there for summer.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Summer
Chicago.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not. Hell no. This redneck ain't going cold. You get off the plane in Chicago, Milwaukee. You have a seaside smell because of the Great Lake.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is nice. It's nice in August.
Yeah.
But no, when those snowstorms start hitting you, hell no, I'm not gonna be there. Now, how was Marquette?
Marquette was great, but it was just so much going on, man. A kid from Mississippi, man, that's been out in Pocahontas, and you get on Burleigh Street in Milwaukee, and you're 75 miles from Chicago, and you 150 miles south of Green Bay, and you see all these things as a young person. What do? You go, wow, I had never been around Oriental women and women from different Asian women. I had never been around all. And Marquette had like maybe 50 different nationalities on campus. So it was different, and I just said, wow.
Okay, now you went to seminary. Why didn't you go that way?
That's what I always felt like I should have been doing. At the time, that was what my heart was. and I just got in the program and did real good in it. Then I come back to Jackson and went to reform a little while and did pretty good and just got stuck and didn't go no further. You know, could go back and finish if I really wanted to.
Why did you come back to Jackson?
I race horses. So it was hard in Milwaukee.
Now, wait, let's stop there. You race horses.
Harness horses, yeah.
You physically race them, or you breed them, or when you say you race horses?
I'm big now.
No,
I own horses. How that say? Is that better sound?
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Well, I own horses.
I did not know this.
And I wanted to, you can't get no land up there. You can't do nothing like that. So I wanted to come back and get in the horse business. I made a lot of money. But even though I still were racing in Chicago, so I wanted to come back where I could get back doing what I love to do.
Okay. Are you still in the horse game?
Yes, sir. Still in the horse game. Matter of fact, Sock, you real familiar with this. The horse sale was yesterday. Mm-hmm. Springfield, Illinois. The Labor Day sale was yesterday, and a lot of money.
Now, what the heck are you talking about?
Horse sale.
Oh, I got that. Was it in Illinois? Or
yeah, Illinois. Yeah.
Okay. Is it internet?
Yeah, you can watch it. You can be it on the internet now.
Okay.
Things are so like. A lot of the guys from the South, we go because we like to look at the legs and stuff. But rich people, they, sock them. They just be it on the internet. If the horse have 3 legs, what the hell?
You have horses?
No, a lot of employees of mine have horses. Malcolm's cousin.
Yeah, he got a lot of employees, man. Listen, man.
Got back from Chicago behind a couple of horses 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, yeah.
I have no idea.
He know this time, man. Sock know this time, man. They get real nice around July, don't
they? They do.
Horse sale coming up August, September.
They do.
Okay. So now you come back here. What are you currently doing, sir?
Well, currently I'm right now Special Projects Officer for Hinds County Board of Supervisors. Now my checks say Hinds County Board of Supervisors. It don't say Graham. It don't say Archer. It don't say Calhoun. It don't say McGowan. It don't say Gavin. It says Hinds County. So I believe in working and serving for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people say they work in their district. I tell everybody I work for Hinds County. So.
Well, I was very impressed by what y'all did on Sub 2, the farm. The
County barn.
County barn. Thank you.
Yeah, and look, man, you came through that day, and man, the people was like, "That's Brent." They never, people that never saw you, but
exactly.
A lot of people say.
Now let me tell you this, Socrates.
They already talking about next year. Now go ahead.
Let me go ahead and tell you this. I told Malcolm, I don't know if you know this because you are a narcissist, but I know you've never heard that before. I told this man, just please don't call me on stage. I'd like to get out and see the people and meet some people. And, of course, all the judges would be out there. First thing he did, Brent Hazzard, come up on stage. And I was sitting there just staring at him like, now, see, what we should have done, if I knew Archie was game, I should have launched into Archie. You could have taken a steel chair, hit me in the back. We could have blown up the internet.
Oh, wow.
But don't hit me. Now, Malcolm, is the rules. This is Greenville rules.
You're supposed to say, boom.
Yeah, exactly. Don't hit the ground twice. Hit the ground twice to let me know it's coming. Don't cold cock me with a chair and not give me a heads up. I mean, I'll do some, we can do some fundraising.
Well, just make it real, Brent. Just make it real. Let him knock hell out of you.
Once again. But let's get into it. Malcolm, we got 3 minutes into it. What is your opinion of the water crisis? Because I have to say, the only people I see that don't really have any blame, so to speak, is the Hinds County Board of Supervisors.
And that, because they have nothing to do with water.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
But let me say this. Today, there was a motion made to give the city $19.5 million to the O.B. Curtis water treatment plant to help Hinds County because the governor promised them whatever they give from the county, the state would match it. So today there was a vote. It's going to be on the news tonight too.
Okay.
But $19.5 million was presented. A motion was made by Archie. A second was made by by Graham, and then it failed. Yeah. So this was the day where we could have put $19.5 million into that plant to do some work. So
did they articulate why the other 3 did not want to vote for it?
Well, McGowan was not present.
Okay.
And the other 2, I have no idea. We had a rough day today.
Socrates, did you know about this?
No, just hearing about it.
Okay.
So this was the day.
This your reaction.
I don't get it. I don't understand why, anybody would vote against providing money for the city in this crisis situation. So there's got to be something else there that Malcolm hadn't told us yet.
Well, it might come out as like I said, it has it all hit. But thank you for the news update. I will say this on the way here. We got to take a break in a minute 40. But on the way here, I see this Dodge Charger just screaming by me. I was over there at the Oak Kent Road in Pearl Orchard. Pearl Orchard, yeah. Pear Orchard.
Yeah.
And just Dodge comes by, and then I can't say they're all Madison County. I know one of them was because it's a black SUV. They were chasing, but they were chasing in an orderly fashion. They were not just, in my opinion, they had been briefed. The car was doing about 90.
Wow.
They were doing about 50 in a nice orderly fashion, like someone has briefed them on liability of chasing someone in Hinds County. But that's one of the reasons we're a little bit late tonight. But we're gonna go ahead and take a station ID. We got 40 seconds left to go. But this is the Brent Hazzard Show. We'll be right back after this break.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, Keepers of the Knowledge for People Who Speak the Truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippiLink.com and click on Home Delivery.
We are back. It's the Brent Hazzard Show with Malcolm Johnson and Socrates Garrett. Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
Water crisis. Let's start at the top. I just want an A to F grade. There's no E. Time somehow threw out an E. E does not exist in my grade book. Did y'all have an E growing up?
No, we had an S, though.
What's an S?
An I.
Satisfactory, unsatisfactory, incomplete.
Yeah.
But that's not on the A to F grade.
We had an I.
Incomplete. I had an I.
Okay.
See, I'm being so nice to you today, Socrates. There's about 3 of them I could have popped you on. Moving on. Governor Tate Reeves. Okay, hang on. Here's what I'm going to do to you. I want the general grade on how they were doing in their political careers. Mm-hmm. So we have, see if there's any biasness or if there's any issues, and then how they did on the water crisis. Okay? Governor Tate Reeves, what do you give him generally as a governor?
I give him a B.
Wow, B.
Yeah.
What would you give him generally as a governor?
C minus.
Okay.
I give him just a B, 85 B.
No. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
Not no high B, just a B.
We're on the 10-point schedule.
Gotcha.
Okay. So C minus. I don't even know if I can go C minus. See, as a general governor for a Republican, C minus. I'll go C minus. What do you give him for the water crisis?
I give him A.
Really?
He stepped the hell in, brother, and brought a lot of firepower in.
Okay. You see where President Biden called him out, said we've given him everything. The governor's got to do something.
Well, that's party. Let me explain something to you, bro.
Okay.
And Sock can go along with this, I believe. A lot of the governor, Congressman Thompson, and Joe Biden, that's party talk.
Okay.
But that ain't really how I go.
But what I'm saying is, would you not agree with me in 2020 when it broke down the last time, he could have stepped up, but he didn't. I'm not going to go so far.
In government, it's a such thing as the respect of order.
Okay.
And it's a thing called the city reaches out with a letter, and they have the city council should have had it in the meeting that we're, as the council and the mayor is agreeing to reach out for help. Got me now?
And so you saying that never happened?
The continuity never was there and put on the table to go to the next step.
Okay.
The mayor can't run without the city council approving it, and the governor just don't write blank checks in government. There's not a blank check.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a good example. You done heard David Archer talk about the $20 million on Mega Everest?
I've heard David.
What did Benny Thompson tell him? Bring me a plan. He took the plan. It was shot down. The city took the same plan with the same architect, the same design, and got the $20 million.
Why,
everything in government.
Stop there. Why did David Archie, if it was the same plan, why did he get shot down?
Well, it could have been that street. Mega Everest is in the city limit.
Okay.
So they didn't have no jurisdiction over there. They still had to go to the city and get an interlocal agreement. Am I right, Sock?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Still had to get permission to go in and do the work. So why not give the money to the one who's responsible for it?
Okay.
It make a lot of sense.
Lieutenant Governor, what do you give Delbert Hoseman in general?
I give Delbert Hoseman an A.
Socrates?
I give him a B.
Overall. Not water crisis, overall.
No, I give him a B.
I don't know what the hell he does. See, I'm just going to give him an average.
Do you know what the lieutenant governor does?
Yes, I do know.
Okay, it's the most powerful position in government.
Say it again, Sock.
I would disagree with that until, first of all, growing up, I was taught the Speaker of the House was the most powerful position in Mississippi. That's why I know Billy McCoy. That's why I know Ford. I didn't always, the lieutenant governor was always the speaker, President Pro Tem of the Senate. Is that correct? Do I have my civics right? But I would disagree with you fundamentally. I think Haley Barbour changed all that and made a weak governor strong, and still the governor is the most powerful person because of fundraising abilities and the power that Haley gives it. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Okay.
The lieutenant governor appoints all of the committee chair people.
For the Senate?
Yeah.
Not for the House?
Well, I don't know who appoints them for the House. I guess the Speaker of the House appoints them. And so if you control the committee chair people, then you control the legislation that comes out of committee.
I would concur with that. You think he's done a good job? Delbert.
I gave him a B.
That would be a good job.
Okay. I gave him a B.
You don't think a B is a good grade in your grading system?
No, I would have got B down with a B. One of A's.
Wonder what happened to you in your later years. Okay, water crisis, Delbert Hoseman. What do you give him?
I had to give him not a high A, but I had to give him an A.
For what? I haven't seen him.
Well, sometimes it's the person behind the gun that you don't see that really be making the thing work. Delbert is very. I can count the times that I've been with my boss and he calls. And he tries to hold things together. He's like that deacon in the church that holds the church together. That don't say a lot. He real smooth, but he get it done. That's what he does.
Now, you Clinton born, right?
That's right.
Should I even ask him about Philip Gunn?
Yeah, tell me.
Philip Gunn, overall grade. I'm going to go ahead and predict this one, but go ahead.
I give him a B plus. B plus.
It's lower than I thought.
Yeah.
What would you say, Socrates, Philip Gunn?
I don't know much about the speaker. I would have to think about that, but
well, we can come back to you.
Yeah, because the problem I'm having is that,
haven't seen him in the water crisis.
I have not seen him.
Nah.
Okay.
And so I don't know how to grade him right now.
That's a good move there. And guess what? He live in Clinton. He not in the crisis right now.
Well, I understand that, but he's supposed to be the most powerful person, or he represents the House, and he has gubernatorial, big word for a redneck.
He not running.
He's not?
No.
Okay. But I would hope that being a Hinds County citizen, he would have been more forward in coming out and supporting, and I would have hoped Delbert Hoseman or Gunn being residents of Hinds County, Delbert being a resident of the city of Jackson, would have held some things up until some funding would have got focused on the city. That's my opinion. What do you give him, Philip Gunn, for the water crisis?
I'm just like Mr. Garrett. I hadn't heard from him during the water crisis. I personally have not. My bosses, them, have talked to Delbert every day, and someone from the governor's office pertaining things that they want to do, but I have not personally heard anyone call the speaker's house during this time.
I growing up, I couldn't pass a test I didn't show up for. That's just the way I was raised. But anyway,
I thought your partner signed your name for you
what partner?
on the test at the school when they were giving the test.
Hey, Sunshine, this redneck made a 30 on the ACT.
Oh,
Easy killer. I know, but you don't know what that means. I can explain it to you in 4 or 5
Well,
different
that 130
universities.
won't get you into Stanford, but I understand what you're saying.
I won't get this step.
Got me into Duke and Vandy.
Okay, that's
Broke redneck, couldn't afford it. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. I went down to Tulane, looked around, they said 56. And I said, where's Oxford? Which way? It's back up there. Now we're going through mayor, A to F. What do you give him? Overall, general.
Is it mayor period or is it water crisis?
No, mayor, general, as his career as mayor, his administration. What?
I give him a C. I say give him a C. I would give him a C. Average, he's an average mayor. Nothing. I believe, and I do believe. I believe Tony Yarborough was more sound and more equipped to be for mayorship than Antar.
To be fair to the current mayor, Yarborough had more HR scandals. But I think if you look at the criminal record and reaching across the aisles, I think people forget the success Yarborough had.
He was a better politician.
Yes.
But the personal side was twisted. So on Antar's side, he presented a good.
There's not been the scandals.
Yeah. And then, but his politicalness is just kind of sideways.
He doesn't know how to.
There you go.
Work through. But no, I think when people look back and compare the statistics and what Yarborough actually accomplished, I think he does a lot better.
And Yarborough had a plan. He put it on Facebook yesterday.
Yes.
The plan that he presented. You may remember, I think it was in 2015 or something. He had a plan. You got to have a plan, brother.
Well, no, you really don't. It seems that way.
Saw got a plan.
Current administration, what do you give them?
I'll give him a B.
Okay. Water crisis.
The mayor. I feel like he's responsible 120% for it, the whole ordeal.
So what would I need a letter? Because I know what it sounds like to me, but I'm not grading for you.
I give him F on the water crisis.
Okay, I can't disagree on that. We've gone through yours on previous show. If you have not seen it, Socrates, and we're doing so much better today. I'm not trying to hit you with anything. I'm not spitting on you.
I think you took your medicine today.
You have me start at 5 o'clock. Okay, so in your city council, just the whole city council, overall, what do you give them, A to F?
I give the city council a D.
Okay, overall.
Yeah.
Overall, city council.
I give him a C.
Okay. Water crisis, Mr. Johnson.
City council?
Yes.
I roll with the C. They worked together. They put down a lot of their personal feelings in the water crisis and went to work a little bit.
Okay.
Now, I have saw Vern Hartley on the tractor working.
When you say working, what do you mean?
Out in the community to pass water out. He got a tractor going down the street putting water on people's porches.
Okay.
I saw, Kenny work all the time. Yeah.
Like him or hate him? Kenny.
Yeah.
So
I seen Angelique at some water giveaways.
Okay.
I saw, and I have not saw the guy in one.
Brazel?
No, the white guy.
Brazil.
No, the white guy, District 1.
Foot.
I had not saw Foot during the
I
crisis.
said Ashley last time. It's
Ashley Foot.
It's Ashby, right?
Ashby.
Yeah, I was calling him Ashley last time.
I have not saw him. I ain't saw a lot of Virgil, but I know she's working because I talked to someone today that was brought her name up, and I seen a lot of posting on Facebook from Grizel. So,
okay,
yeah. But I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
City council job is different. People think they should fix potholes and they should call their city council for problems. Their job is to vote and manage their budget and make the decisions according after the mayor come to them with what he's suspected or what's needed. Am I right, Sock?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's not common to see city council people unloading trucks and fixing potholes and bush hogging. That's not their job. Go ahead.
Going forward, I'm coming back with you, Malcolm. I wanted Socrates' opinion on this. It seems like we've made strides during the water crisis. The water department, because of EPA, because of the governor, because of bringing in qualified people, that we've not made. How long? Because I saw a quote on water pressure. We'll have water pressure we haven't had in 10 years. Is that fair to say? Or
I don't know. I don't know what the water pressure was, but it had to be around 87. That's the goal of the city.
They hit 90 at one
They
test.
hit 90, yeah.
And they was talking about they haven't had that because the next press release was the pipes might not hold up to this water pressure. Going forward, Socrates, in your opinion, who should run the water department?
Wow.
Should it be the mayor? Should it be the state mayor? Should it be some sort of joint venture? Should EPA stick around? My fear is this. You got all this happening right now. We're going to implement this wonderful system, and we're going to go back to being understaffed, underpaid, underbudgeted. Should we explore a joint venture at this point to see if we can keep this momentum going? Or do you think that's necessary?
Well, I always advocated a regional sales tax so that we all could participate in a sales tax that would help the entire region.
Define region for us.
Well, in this case, we're talking about the MSA. We're talking about Madison County, Hinds County, Warren County. We're talking about Rankin County. If we just took those four counties there and we had a regional sales tax associated with that, then I think that everybody would be participating and providing the revenue necessary to fix everything.
Let me play devil's advocate with that. I'm in Warren County. I'm going to sit there and go, why is my money going to fix Jackson problems?
Well, we have to explain that to you because it's your capital.
Okay.
It's your capital city. You know, you drive on those streets. You want a safe environment to travel through. You care about what the rest of the world sees out of the state of Mississippi. So you have plenty reasons to support a region concept. We need to have high-speed rail that runs all the way from Holmes County all the way over to Vicksburg. We need to really get into the 21st century.
Why high-speed rail from Holmes to Vicksburg?
Well, we're staying inside of this little range we're talking about. It's because we could move people back and forth. People could get to work. People would have the ability to get over to Vicksburg to visit the casinos if they're choosing to. So high-speed rail is one of those things that would move this city and this county and region forward.
I never thought about that. Rail from Jackson to Vicksburg, and Jackson made money off that rail. It would.
Yeah, all the way over to Hinds County.
My issue there is
Holmes County.
If I was in Warren County and you told me that, I'd be like, well, Lee County, it's the capital of Lee County. Why aren't they sharing into it?
Well, I would give everybody the opportunity to opt into it, but I would legislatively, I would ask the governor to create the regional sales tax for those 4 areas.
Okay, and would these just be for Jackson municipalities, or if Warren County needed some upgrading, or Madison or Rankin, would they be able to dip in this pool in your plan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Your idea, going forward, who should run the water system? Should the federal government have a representative? Should the state government stay involved, or should it all go back to the city of Jackson?
Well, I believe the people have a right and should have good, clean drinking and usable water. But I also believe that you can't turn the water department back over to who was running it. It's gonna have to be some decisions made from a standpoint of maybe a water association, or maybe they need a water board with some business guys on there. It's something gonna have to be done where it's some oversight over the water department. You know, people would say that the number one source of income for any city is the water. So the water department should have been protected like it was your little 4-year-old daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should have been someone watching it at all times. But I am going to say this right here too now, Brent. The water department, and this is what we have to be careful about, the water department really, the laws to water in the state can be changed at the legislative anytime. You do know that, don't you?
Well, I mean, legally speaking, and you've stumbled upon something.
And that's not federal. That's a state issue.
One of the issues here that, because I filed suit against the city, got dismissed for me not exhausting administrative purposes.
Oh, wow.
And when I tried to exhaust administrative purposes, the city told me, we don't have any hearing dates, and we don't know when they're going to have hearing dates, which means they don't have any administrative remedies to refile. But one of the issues that are very unique to this situation is once a municipality has a charter or has runs their own utilities like the city of Jackson, there's no governing from the state, because we've never had this situation.
None.
And some of it's not just because the Jackson, it's just because of the age. We just never had a municipality age like the city of Jackson has over natural time. So, and we don't have another municipality to have the donut effect.
Yeah.
The closest one that we have is we're benefiting from Memphis's donut effect. And the donut effect is when people move outside of a city. And it happened in Chicago, it happened in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
The suburbs become a donut, and then the center is empty. Because we don't have any state legislation, because we don't have that many big municipalities, there's not a lot of remedies you can seek, because you can't say the state's being discriminatory by not providing clean water, because the state's not in control.
Yeah.
And you can't say, because I've looked at it and I've tried to argue it, you can't say that the state is having some sort of indirect, racist effect, because once again, PSC's not in control. Socrates, would you accept an appointment if Malcolm's idea was accepted? Would you accept and I give Socrates a hard time, and he deserves it. I would be the first one to nominate you to this board. Would you accept that nomination?
Yes, I served on the levee board for 8 years.
What levee board?
The levee board that runs the flood control throughout this region.
What years?
Oh, I just got off.
91. Where were you in 91 to 95? Were you on it?
No,
I worked for the levee board.
No. I was on the levee board in 2010, 2000.
Okay. Because I was going to dog cuss you for working me like a dog from 91.
91, 93, I wasn't on it.
Okay. Well, actually,
I was also chairman of the Greater Jackson Chamber Partnership as well.
Okay. After those chairmen, would you accept a nomination to a board or do you think that's a good idea to have a board well, before we answer that question, we've got to take a break. We'll be right back with the Brent Hazzard Show right after this break.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
Hi, I'm Q Talicia Garrett. I am here to introduce our South Development and Training Outreach Hour every Tuesday at 2 p.m., giving you information on how to become a part of the programs through USDA and Farm Service Agency. We can be reached at 678-779-9468. We can also be found online at newsouthoutreach.com.
It's the Brent Hazzard Show. I'm Brent Hazzard, joined by Malcolm Johnson and Socrates Garrett, having a very intelligent civil discussion, which I'm not used to doing. Not with you. But here's my point, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And I want input from both of you. Millsaps is looking at building its own well. I think Bellhaven is. I've seen Andy Gibson say he's looking at doing something for the state. Do I have that wrong or right?
He put a well at the fairgrounds.
Okay. We were discussing a few seconds ago, Byram is looking to do something. This is where I want the state to come in and say, whoa. This is not going to be productive for anybody. Well, I've got you. We're going to need a say-so in this, but we're going to look at this as not as the city's water, but as the region's water. And to me, that's where you get into it, because I can't imagine that having, well, here, Socrates, is it wise to have all these, is it just easier to maintain from a contractor? Is it contractor? Is that the best term to use for this, or is there better? What's the term I'm looking for?
I'm not sure.
Who would fix or plan this system that whether it should be one big large water system or a small system? Would that be an engineer, or would it be who would plan that?
Well, engineers design water treatment plants all the time. Firms like Jacobs are design build firms, so they got all of the staff in the world to design a water treatment plant. And so, but the question of,
logistically, would it be better for us in 2022 to have smaller wells or water sources?
No.
Or one bigger one?
No. We've gone away from smaller wells because they actually being mandated that you can't have smaller wells everywhere. We're closing down surface wells, and we went to the treatment plant. And so we can't move backwards. We had small wells when we were unincorporated areas.
That's right.
So you agree that it would be if everyone gets their own little water system, it'd be taking a step back?
Well, financially towards the city, it would destroy the city. But you're going to have to do something, Brent. Jackson State cannot afford for children not to take baths. For the football team, they had to go to the Sheraton and stay because the football players can't take a shower once they leave practice.
Well, I mean, and let me go ahead and blame Jackson State a little bit for this. I had some contacts that told me the game that was canceled from COVID last year was canceled because of water issues. And I think if that would have made the news, I think the people who knew. But we have to be honest with each other.
Yeah.
And when you've got a money-making machine like, I mean,
Coach Prime
is on a limited contract. He just is, and I don't know how the man's here, considering you don't see Troy Aikman coaching, you don't see Jerry Rice coaching, you don't see a top 75 guy coaching. Usually those are the second, third string tight ends or something like that.
Brett, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
When a guy's rich, I made plenty of money.
Okay.
Been around the world.
Okay.
And wore fur coats. Probably had the most beautiful women that they ever came through Dallas and Atlanta, Georgia. And his ultimate goal in life was to be around young guys that played ball, and that's what made him feel good. He's living his youth all over again, being with those young superstars.
No, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is,
you know what I mean, Mr. Garrett?
Oh, yeah.
You remember when Jackson used to have Ronnie Hendersons and Othello Harritons, and everybody wanted to run with those high school superstars. People Socrates, Garrett age, and your age and my age, running with guys 6'6" in 11th grade just because he was an electrifying basketball player. So he just getting a good thrill out of it.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is, look, take the Mannings. Take any of the Mannings.
Yeah.
Take Brett Favre when he's not stealing money from DHS. He's an offensive coordinator at Oak Grove, and everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
But what I'm saying is, what they usually don't want to do, which Coach Prime is doing, they want to show up and, they want to have
game day.
Yeah, but they don't want to grind.
No.
And that's why you don't have the guys who are worth $50 million or the guys who can get advertising now. Because, I'm watching college football, and there he is with Nick Saban, the biggest name in college football.
Yeah.
Affleck.
What a goat.
Yeah, those guys usually are like, I'm good.
Do you think he made money off that commercial?
Oh, yeah, he made money.
Can I tell you this?
What? Go ahead.
Sock, you answer this too. You give me your input. Do you not believe at the end of the day that he's making a big profit?
Oh, no. And
Jackson State check is his tax write-off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His foundation is clocking.
But the thing about it is, with that personality, with podcasting and bar stools, I think by doing this while he's making money, I think he's taking a pay cut to a certain degree, because I think like Michael Irvin's on ESPN.
Yeah, but Dion is where he want to be.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
It's just like a rich kid that want to hang out in Verdant every day.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. He
You know what I'm talking about, son?
grinder.
Parents got everything in the world, and they want to go over on Baylor Avenue.
Oh, no, he's a grinder.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But my point is, you're not going to get another one of those. You're not going to get a top 75 player want to come coach Jackson State. And even
they want to do it on game day,
correct,
but they don't want to put the work in.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. You've got to recognize you've got a dodo bird there. You've got the last one, and you've got to market it. And you can't have games canceled because of water.
No, you can't do it. But can I ask you this?
Go ahead.
Also, he hired, and this is what Antar should have took lesson from.
Mike Zimmerman came down here, was a head coach.
I was just finna say that
consultant.
He got to have people around you that understand.
But and that's what that comes with greatness. But like I said, most of that greatness. Take Favre. I haven't seen anything where Favre needed the money. It's the arrogance that I'm not going to be raising my own money.
Let me ask you this right here.
Favre.
Let me ask you this: if you was the mayor of Jackson,
who?
You. If you was the mayor of Jackson. Who would you had put over your public works and water department? If you knew your water department was leaning, public works was one of the most important things in the city, who would you have made who would you have made your engineer?
I hate saying this. It pains me to say this. And I don't know if I could make him poobah of waterworks.
Who?
Oh, the guy sitting right here. He would be a consultant at least. And I know he's one of the most hated people in the game.
No.
Look, half the time I want to hit him with a mic stand. But, I mean, it's almost like he called me a super talk boy one time. Oh, I'm sorry. That was this way.
You know what I would have done?
Was that this way?
You know what I would have done though?
Hang on. No, but I know I would rely because look, what you're saying is this. I know what I don't know.
You know what you don't.
And I know whatever project I've used Socrates on, and like I said, I judge people not by what you do, how you do.
How you do it.
And now he had some wizard come into this. I mean, he was struggling. But he made an honest effort with this little studio here. And he had some wizard from Greenville come in and just kind of took it. But I would think that same wizard, with his help, would do the same thing with the water treatment. And I would also know he wasn't going to lie to me. And he's not going to try to talk down to me, or he's not going to worry about my ego. He's going to tell me what we need, and he's going to say, now I might have to lock him up. I might have to lock him up when we have to bring in the politicians because I don't need them dog cussed.
Well, guess what I would have done?
Go ahead.
Ask me.
What would you have done?
I would have made, you see that guy right there?
Yeah.
I would have put him over Public Works and put Andrew Jenkins over the water department.
So you basically copied my answer. I'm just asking. It sounds like he copied my answer. Sounds like.
Is Andrew Jenkins a chemical engineer? Any engineer?
I don't know who Andrew Jenkins is. Who's Andrew Jenkins?
Well, he's another successful businessman that is an engineer in the town who got public works experience, who worked at one of the most, probably one of the largest public works departments in the country. Atlanta one time, wasn't it,
Mm-hmm.
Right here in Jackson.
Yeah.
Where is he doing now?
He's right here like Mr. Garrett, just a guy around town.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying, what we need is here.
But you know as well as I do, the problem with Jackson, and I've said this all the time, I don't care where you're going. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if we're playing pickup ball. If Othello Harrington and Ronnie Henderson is on our team, one of you idiots take a shot, I'm screaming. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, you crazy.
You better feed these beasts until they get double teamed. Because I look at you two and say, I know I'm the third option on this team.
Oh, man. You wouldn't do us like that.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, but it's ego. In my opinion, it's ego.
Don't make me laugh, man.
And it's one of those situations where you have to know what you know and know what you don't. And I mean,
but did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
I say if I was the mayor.
Yeah.
And the reason I would put Sock in public works, let me tell you why. He older, he wise. He know how to deal with people like my cousins and other people that kind of lazy, they'll work for who they like.
Yeah.
But if they don't like it, they ain't gonna work for you.
They just call family members lazy.
No, it's in a good way. Sock know what I'm saying.
Man, and
Sock, when you
people different than Greenville people.
but when you dealing with our people,
okay.
The Bible say we some peculiar people.
Okay.
So when you dealing with our people, you have to have a man that they don't mind jumping out those trucks, weed eating and cleaning up for. You put the wrong person in there, they not gonna do nothing. Guy told me this, he retired now, and I'm gonna say what he told me. He said, Malcolm, when Malcolm McMillan was at the sheriff department, he walk in and say, tell one of the guys to do it, it could be against the law. They say, yes, sir, sheriff. So as soon as we got a black sheriff, and he said do the same thing, they went to telling the black sheriff that's against the law. So what I'm saying is, when you have people working up under people, you have to have people in position that the workers will do what, Mr. Sock?
Enjoy working.
They enjoy working for you.
Well, no, but but no matter what race, nationality, whatever, there's leaders of men.
It leads to me, yeah.
And women. We don't want to be sexist, but what I'm saying is, and I think that's what's the problem with the political field right now.
Yeah.
We don't have leaders of people, because those leaders of people would be like, I don't give a damn if it's going to cost my career.
Yeah.
The history books or Judgment Day is not going to judge me failing these people going through this crisis.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people failing. Who would you hire if you disqualify you? Because I know what you're going to be. I'd hire myself to build a rocket.
No, if you're talking about staff in the city of Jackson.
Who would you hire to edit this show to get me some clips? Because that's who we need to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that offline.
Who would you hire to put in charge? Excluding yourself.
Well, Jackson needs critical engineers.
That's what they need.
Our producer just came out and gave us a sneak eye. But that's fine. Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm just saying we need engineers.
That's right.
That really understand, how to fix the problem with our water and our infrastructure and our water meters and our billing system.
Let me ask
so
you this.
we got a whole void of the talent that we need to fix this mammoth problem.
Okay, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Could that, and I've heard that from the mayor, could that vacuum be overcome by some sort of joint venture with the universities?
Well, the university doesn't have that kind of staff. The engineers at the universities have never worked in the field and doing the designing and working in plant operations. So you got to have engineers that have experience what we're dealing with, can understand what they need to do to prevent it.
But what I'm saying is,
this is not an academic issue.
No, but if we bring
you got to be seasoned there, brother.
But if we bring a qualified person in to make sure we have a populated supply, could we not have some sort of joint venture? Because what I say is, this is a test case, not only for Mississippi, this is a test case. Biden has a problem giving Republican state with Democratic cities funding because the Democratic cities are not receiving it, which is basically what's going on here. So whatever solution here for Jackson, I think is going to be copied and mimicked throughout the nation.
I wouldn't count on that.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Because the EPA reports and all of that, when that come out, Biden them gonna run.
Okay.
When a lot of the stuff, the real problems come out, ain't Benny Thompson not gonna risk his political career trying to fix something that it was some paperwork or a trail that said the EPA, So that would.
So you're saying that would show the errors of EPA or errors with the city of Jackson?
Well, to show errors that the city of Jackson did not do that could have been preventable, like raw boo-boo going down the street, raw sewage.
Yeah.
Kenny been raising hell about that for how long?
Yeah.
So,
well,
so what I'm saying, politically, real politicians go very careful how they approach that and put their name to it.
I'm going to give you the last word. We're running out of time. What would be your plan for going forward?
Well, I think that we first have to get through this crisis.
That's right.
And going forward now consists of bringing all of the talent that you can possibly bring to this issue. Because we're not talking about just fixing the the drinking water plant at O.B. Curtis. We're talking about fuel, but we're also talking about a massive distribution system that has to be repaired.
That's right.
And once we even get that repaired, we're talking about laterals to every household that is not a part of the city's infrastructure that needs to be replaced. So we're going to need a lot of money and a lot of talent.
That's right.
To address this problem.
How do you get them, or where does the money come from? Does it have to be federal, or is there anything that you see that could be done? Besides, you said the regional tax.
No, in this case, with the declaration of the emergency.
That's right.
The money has already been appropriated.
Yes.
It's been appropriated, and I don't know how far it's been allocated. I don't know if the check has hit the state of Mississippi or not.
Biden said everything that the governor needs is sitting here. And I think he was talking about COVID funds. We're out of time, but I will want to say this. I want to bounce this off your idea. This is what I always heard going up to the crisis. One of the reasons the governor, lieutenant governor, or speaker would not address the mayor is because they said specifically, you spend X amount of funds, whether it's, COVID funds or whatever funds, and we'll match you. Or if you want over here and get money, we need to talk about the airport. There was always a give and take, which is somewhat normal in politics, and there was no negotiating from the city. Have you heard that, Socrates, or is that just my sources?
I haven't heard that, and I hope the airport wouldn't be a part of the discussion in the water crisis that we have here in Jackson. So, no, I haven't heard that.
Have you heard that, or is that just...
I've heard some things on that nature, or in that order, but remember, he who controlled the purse controls it all.
And what I'm saying is...
Am I right, Sock? So no matter what they come with, you kiss the booty till you get what you need for your people.
But I think what it shows us, though, if we all get in the same room, and we all can work together and realize, I'm sure the governor and the mayor sat there together and said, hey, you're being investigated too? Mm-hmm. I'm sure they had some of those conversations. One's COVID funds, one's DHS funds.
What did I just say, though? He who controls the purse. What you supposed to do, Sock?
It's the golden rule.
That's the golden rule. So guess what? If Ross Barnett Sr. come out the grave and he was the governor again, guess what you're supposed to do?
You're
supposed to say,
common ground.
This is what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say, yassa.
Oh, now, I disagree with that. Malcolm. You see, you're going to end on that, and I want to get into that and light you up so bad. But this is your favorite Super Talk boy. Did you actually call me that, Mr. Johnson? Super Talk boy one time?
No.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Yassa.
We're going to invite Malcolm back. Thank you for appearing, Socrates. What time's your show?
It's at 5 o'clock on Friday. Or is it 5:30? It's either 5 or 5:30.
Let me tell you
what time
hang on. Let me tell you about this. This is why I can't stand it. He moves the shows from 7 to 8 or 6 to 7 or whatever they were. And he has to walk his ass 25 feet. I have to drive through 5 o'clock traffic.
Well, this is very right.
We'll see y'all next week. Thank you for watching.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.